guys. Oh, I gotta keep the beer cold. This is an old one. You can see it's beat up. This is an old building. I can hear it. It's gonna be low on charge. Y'all hear that hissing? Like a walk-in freezer evaporator. Missing a panel. Missing a panel. Starting to see some frost. Well, let's go up. It's inside here. Got a flashy sight glass. And it sure would be nice if there was light up here somewhere, but there's not. And this quote's not awful. I'm gonna read this tag here and see what all it says. That land right there, but like somebody sealed the king valve. Like it might have been leaking from that king valve. So I'm going to start there. Let's get my go ahead and mark my time clock. Give me a detector in here and let's see if I can't get any hits around anything. Stem leaks if loose. It might leak when it's not loose too. Alright, let's do that. Let's get a detector up here before I disturb any of that. We'll see if I can pick up a leak. And go from there. She's just gonna need a little gas. They need to update their system. This is gonna be 22404. That's a walk-in freezer. Freezer evaporator, so that makes sense. They're not quite as bad. Another possible leak down there, hitting the back of that compressor. Don't know what that. I bet that's been abandoned. Yeah. Here's the end of the cat tube. Well, let's get the detector out and see what we can find on it. Now I got some light. I have a feeling that flare's leaking. I can just see the oil. I felt the oil. Maybe not. did read the tag. The tag was showing that that flare was leaking previously, along with the king valve. So the king valve's still gonna leak, but if the flare's not leaking, everything seems to be sealed pretty good. There's something down there. Now, am I picking up residual? Discharge line is not secured very well, but it had some refrigerant in it, so that discharge line's not leaking. We need to do something with that. Again, if it was in this condenser, I wouldn't have any refrigerant left, I would think. But I don't like something down in here. Let's go to medium. Is that damn receiver leaking? Right around in that area. It's got an oily feel to it. Yeah, I can feel it. It's underneath there. It's the bottom of that. It's gonna be on the bottom of that fucking receiver. Right down there somewhere. Well, that sucks. Let's see if I can't pinpoint it and get a bubbles or something, just so I can know it's only that receiver. I got oil right here. Maybe it's this line. There is light on that oil on that line. No hits. I am hitting right there on the bottom. Alright, let's try to verify and pinpoint that, and then we can go from there. We're gonna have to probably add charge to it to get it running for now, and then decide. I have to come back and change the receiver out. New king valve. I don't know, this thing's kind of old too. It is 404. I don't know what they want to do with it, but we're gonna make it work today, and then see what we can do from there. I'm just gonna do a quick scan in the box here. set back on high. Got some wires up there that need to come off. They're on that line right there. We're gonna give this guy a once over. There ain't no panel on this side either. Look at that. It's electrical hanging out all over the place. We're gonna get all the numbers and recommend install a new box. But we'll make sure I don't have any leaks in here, because if I do, that's just another problem. Try to big picture diagnosis this thing when this is old. I'm sure that thermostat's not accurate anymore. Yeah. Looks like they set the thermostat on about 30. Probably to maintain 38 or so. So I'm not getting any hits. I'm gonna go over everything real good, and then we'll work my way back up top and try to pinpoint where that is. So I'm in a tight spot. I was able to pull it up and get the nut off. It's rusted. I still haven't got bubbles. I got a wall and a drop ceiling behind me, so I gotta be careful, but I can feel it right in the middle. It's poking. I can feel it pushing out on my fingers. So I'm gonna need a receiver. It's not gonna last if I just charged it back up. I don't know if I can get I have to get my eyes under there. But I can feel it. Like I said, it's good enough for me. I just wanted to verify. There's an indention on the bottom of there that I can feel it pushing out. So receiver is leaking. Let me get the information off of it. From there, you have to change that receiver. They really need a whole lot. Like I said, you got a mechanical stat that is out of calibration. You got a king valve that's leaking. You've got a flare that's leaked before, and somebody's had channel locks on and everything else. You got an old evaporator. We've got the whole thing's been, switched over from, used to be a freezer, I guess. This is an old bar downtown, and this is all original equipment. So it is what it is. We're probably, as much as I'd like to change it out, it's probably not going to happen. So let's see if I can find a receiver. If nothing else, I can charge it up, but I don't know how long it's going to last leaking on the high side like that. So I got the receiver cranked back down so it's tight. It's not gonna flop around too much. I'm not actuating that king valve because I know it leaks. I read it on the tag, so there's no sense in me even trying to open that. I didn't pick up any leaks over there. I know I have a leak on the receiver. I'm gonna charge them up and get them operational for now until we can find all these parts, because we need to redo all of that and get this off the compressor. Probably move my sight to where I can see the damn thing. They need a whole new condenser, but I doubt that's going to happen. So we'll come back and clean everything. I can see light through the condenser, but it is dirty. But we're going to at least come back with a king valve, sight glass, filter dryer, obviously. We'll make sure the pressure control works and it pumps down. I'm gonna let it come down to temp. I didn't get any hits inside. They are missing panels, and there's wires all over the place in there. You can only do so much with this stuff. It's been neglected and abused for a long time. So let's go ahead and kick her on and get her charged up slowly. I'm dumping liquid and I'm dumping into my suction line, so I don't want to kill my compressor. It was already running pretty warm because it didn't have gas coming back. I don't know what the low pressure's set at, but I mean, I'm running at 10 psi right now. Slow. And we'll monitor our sight glass. That sight is hard to see, but it's empty. We're gonna keep running it up slowly. Going a little too fast. I can see some frost right there. So we're gonna back off just a little bit. You can see I'm just barely putting in. I mean, I'm still dumping liquid on my compressor, but it'll at least be easy with it. Sky ought to be alright. I mean, it all sounds okay. I got good airflow on the condenser. It all needs to be clean, but it needs a big picture, and it's going to get a little picture, I'm sure. Time clock was moving. I will not mess with the thermostat. I'm not going to mess with too much that I don't have to, so I don't cause any more problems, because the thermostat's obviously been working. They've maintained temperature until we had this leak, so I don't want to go cranking on the thermostat that's already out of calibration. So we're going to let her go till we clear that sight glass. And we've already warned them it's not. This is the high side, so it's not necessarily going to last that long. We need a permanent solution sooner than later, because they're going to have a problem again. Got a filling sight glass. Getting there. We're running about over 20 psi. It's 404, so I'm on my outside gauge there, so I'm running about -10 evaporator right now. I'm surprised that's frosting up too. The temperature's dropping. But my evaporator's awful cold. I was running at -5 or so. You can see it's dripping right here too. It's leaking from up there on the pan itself, so that's just another problem. Fans feel like they're running normally, but really need to get a superheat reading. See if that valve's doing what it's supposed to. It's an adjustable valve. I haven't got to it yet, but we'll see how she does. We get a suction line temperature and see where we're at on that. I don't know. You can only polish a turd so much. I mean, hell, look at a box. They've filled in with spray foam. There's holes. Those holes go all the way through, it looks like. Yeah, somebody's been in here and done some work. That's missing a channel. I ought to have a channel there. Cover that up. Like I said, this is a old building downtown. If they redid all this, I don't know who came in and did this crap, but I mean, they got air leaks everywhere. And wires just hanging out everywhere too. So now I've got a clear sight glass There is no port at the evaporator to read, but that's 66 degree superheat's not good. I said my evaporator seemed like it was a little bit low, especially for a warm box. It's improved a little bit, but I was sitting at that -5 number at least on my analog, and we're sitting about the same spot here. But we need to get that superheat down, or we're gonna lose the compressor. We've cleared the sight glass. It ought to be doing better than this right now. Not to have a much colder suction line. I don't think it's feeding right. I don't know that it's even the right TXV. Haven't really gotten to it yet. I got up there and looked enough to see if there was a port, and there's not. So we've got some other issues here that need to be addressed, either now or when we come back to make repairs. But everything's starting to add up now. So I got no room. Don't call OSHA on me. I marked my valve. Always mark it before you move it. And I'm going to go counterclockwise with that to try to decrease my superheat and feed more refrigerant. I don't know, it wasn't hard enough getting that damn thing out of there. But they've moved the bulbs back here, and it's just tape. It's not, I mean, it's tight, but it's not the best spot. None of this is the best of anything. So I'm going to adjust and see if I can get it any better. So 2 turns got me looking closer to normal, or I'm at least going the right direction. So you may adjust again. I don't know how much more adjustment I got on it. That was 2 full turns, and I'm not in the best place to read it. I wish I was at the evaporator, but you know, if I had a halfway normal number here, I might be okay. But it looks like it is going to feed. I need to get I can't see the valve either, and it is a 404A valve, but I don't know if it's sized right or what. I don't know how all this got done or by who, but we're going the right direction. Now, as I was adjusting, it kicked off on me. Defrost clock's moving. It's not the defrost. My pressure was going up, so it has to be the high pressure control, I would assume. Well, it's the king valve I didn't want to open. I guess I'm gonna have to. Seeing if it would come back on. It just shut off all of a sudden. I do have fuses. I can hear my clock's got power, so I got some kind of power. Let's get a meter out. This couldn't be easy. So I got voltage across my high pressure switch, so I did truly trip the high pressure. I'm gonna clean the condenser packing. King valves, always loosen your packing first, because once they start leaking, they tend to get better. So that nut on the outside there, or on the inside, is the packing. Loosen it up, and then you can open it up. I have a feeling this is still gonna leak. It's been a leaker in the past, but I don't hear anything major. And I got 315. I think the pressure control is set at 350, maybe a little less. So that might be a little low. I have to look and see exactly where that is, but I don't know. I'm not gonna go adjust anything just yet. Let's clean the condenser, at least blow it out. I can see light through the damn thing, but you can see it does have some buildup on it. So we'll brush it and blow it. Give me a mask, because it's gonna get dusty up here. And then see where we're at from there. Kick it back on and adjust my valve again if I need to. It looked clean. It wasn't clean. It's still getting close to that trip point. I mean, but at 130 degrees, I feel like that should be higher. This is all improving. Sight glass is clear. Got a whole lot more dust out of it than I thought I would. Especially as it gets hot up here. I mean, I'm in like an attic space. It is warm. I mean, I guess it's all conditioned, but they only turn the thermostats down on the weekend, so it's gonna get hot up here. You can see I'm a whole lot. I mean, that's gonna be my target, but I'm a whole lot closer. I've improved. I think I'm 5 turns counterclockwise, taking spring pressure off, flow more refrigerant, lower the superheat. So we're gonna watch it for a little bit, and then see where we're at. We have an awful warm liquid line too, man. Like I said, I don't know what's been done to this thing. I don't know how many people have had their hands on it, but we've obviously got some pretty major issues here. He did not like the idea of a new unit, but that's going to be the recommendation. I'm going to try to get my superheat down, get that suction up a little bit. I mean, I would expect my saturation to be 10 degrees or so lower than my actual return temp, which is about 55. Is that right? That doesn't sound right. Evaporator PD. I mean, that's looking at my temperature. It's all off. So let's keep on moving. I got airflow on the condenser now, so we'll go from there, see where we're at. I'm wondering if there's not non-condensables in this thing. I mean, that head pressure is awful high. I would expect fluctuation with non-condensables. Maybe it's had something incorrect put in at some point. I don't know. It's just weird, because as I started, backing, of course I was feeding more refrigerant. Of course I am in a hot pull down too. It's hot up there, it recirculates air. I don't know. I adjusted up to about 375 on my high pressure. You can see it's improved my superheat. It's still not quite where I'd like to be. But again, I don't know what the hell's been done with this thing. I'm probably going to recommend, if they go with a repair, that all the refrigerant be changed so we know the refrigerant's correct. Like I said, this thing's 30 plus years old. It's had way too many hands on it. Too many hands I don't trust. So we're going to watch it for a little bit and just kind of see what it does. The box temp's coming down. So this guy's running. There's still some shit that ain't right. I don't know, if somebody, it's either got non-condensables. I would expect some fluctuation if I had non-condensables. Then my readings wouldn't be as steady. My box temp is dropping. And my evaporator temp improved. So I'm running 45 now. Somebody could have put the wrong refrigerant in it. like I said, this thing's 30 plus years old. You've seen the condition of it, so it kind of is what it is at this point. I got it running, but there's still some shit that ain't right. I've got the information on the valve, so we're going to do some research and just verify that we got the correct valve, that all that stuff's correct. Because, and then obviously when we come back, we're going to recommend they change this thing, because we're just asking for trouble trying to make a repair on this. And if it needs a repair, it needs a receiver. If the expansion valve is correct, then maybe just go back with new refrigerant, because I don't know what refrigerant's in there. Well, I mean, I know what I think's in there, but we put 404A in it, which is what it said. And I mean, this shouldn't be this high. I'm at 90 degrees up there. I put my temp probe up there, so I'm at 90 degrees there. I mean, I got a 45 degree box and a 10 degree evaporator. Something just don't add up. My superheat's improved, but something just don't make sense. So I'm just watching it right now. I've got all the information. I've already talked to the customer about what they got and kind of told them some of the issues, which when you tell them this stuff, they don't really understand all the way. But we're definitely going to need some work. They need a new freaking cooler is what they need. But we'll see what they want to do. We're going to throw basically everything at it. We're going to make sure when that receiver goes that we get obviously new dryer and sight glass. The condenser's clean now, but we're going to put new 404 in it and just see how that does. I mean, if I had made a repair and saw this, I'd recover and start over, but because it's leaking, I guess 404A is a blend too. Maybe it's fractionated, possibly. I don't know. I'm theorizing at this point. Somebody out there in YouTube land, tell me what you think's wrong, because there's something going on here. Something ain't right, and I have a feeling with new refrigerant it's gonna solve some of our problems. I just don't know how it ever got through this long and hasn't lost a compressor, hasn't had issues tripping the head pressure. I don't know why it started tripping when I started feeding more with the valve and then it tripped, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You'd think that would lower that pressure? I don't know. I got a whole lot of unknowns right now, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna monitor for a few more minutes, make sure I have all the information I need, and then we're gonna give them a big picture and a little picture and see which picture they like best. Get the hell out of here, Train North America. So for S&G here, it's, I guess 32 superheat's better than 60. Let's see what Measure Quick says. Check the liquid line temperature probe location. Well, it is the liquid line, although it seems hot, I know. Undercharged, that's not the case. I got a clear sight glass. Dirty condenser, non-condensables. Non-condensables is a theory I have. Restricted liquid line, I don't think there's a restriction in the liquid line. That's only because it's seeing my evaporator being so cold, and TXV bulb lost charge, plugged or stuck closed. It's not stuck closed because it adjusted for me, obviously, but I don't even know that it's the right valve. I guess time will tell. We'll do a little research and see. We got it running better than it was, but it's still not right. Down to 44 degrees. It's taking a long time to get there too. I mean, I know it's, that evaporator TD just doesn't make sense, man. 32 degrees. It was worse than that when I started. I mean, that's basically my superheat. I mean, this box ain't that damn big. I'm letting all my cold air out. I don't know how this thing ever really worked for as long as it did. I guess we're gonna kick this guy back in. So defrost, I just kicked in to, I was gonna make sure it was gonna pump down. It does not pump down in defrost. Defrost is killing, honestly, same way the high pressure did. It's just killing the thermostat or the contactor. So the only thing that's controlling the solenoid is the thermostat. This compressor's gonna fucking die. Let's kick it back in and do it from the stat, I guess. Set the time correctly. I really probably need to get rid of this. Take the defrost out of it. It's gonna air defrost as long as it shuts off normally.